In a fast-changing world in which nothing is certain, it's important to find some way of safeguarding your future and that of your loved ones. People often start to wonder if working for someone else is for them. Salary comes in, bills to pay, not much left, and on top of that, there's never enough time for family. Sound familiar? This may be your opportunity to make a difference in your life.
Soni Reddy Gangasani. I'm an invasive cardiologist in Atlanta, Georgia. I work in a cardiology group of 16 members in suburbs of Atlanta. I'm also chief of medicine at Gwinnett Medical Center, and I'm a president of Georgia Indian Physicians Association called GAPI. I've been working with Unicity with about last 6 to 8 months, and it's been an incredible experience for me personally and then also to my patients. Initially I started using Yasan myself before I gave it to anybody else, and I tried for 3 to 4 weeks, and it's an excellent improvement in my cholesterol. I lost about 4 to 5 pounds within 3 weeks. So I felt comfortable that I could use it in my patients and my family. So then my wife started using it, and then I started using it in my patients. So far, I've seen wonderful results both for diabetes as well as the cholesterol. Obviously, heart disease risk is going to go down, but it's a slow process. So we're going to see a few years down the road what Slim has done to my patients. But from India point of view, India has a lot more heart disease. Indians anywhere have about 3 to 4 times more heart disease than anybody else in the world. So knowing that there is so much risk involved, I think we need to do things right from the beginning so that we don't get to the disease in a later part of our lives. In Indians, when the disease comes, it comes in early, it strikes hard, and most of them present with a sudden death in their 40s and 50s, which is a lot more what we call like a malignant cardiovascular disease in Indians. Working with BioSlife Slim has tremendous benefit with the sugars as well as the cholesterol, which in turn should make our risk to go down significantly. In India, I think the diabetes prevalence has been very high, and incidence has been going higher and higher. And when you look at the data from all over the world, I think in India, the new onset diabetes patients are a lot more than any other country. Having these two products, BioSlife D and BioSlife Slim, both of them will benefit our sugar levels to go down. And in fact, in the studies, it has decreased the hemoglobin A1C, which shows how your blood sugar has been in the last 3 months, up to 2%. That is almost using a couple of medications when we use the treatment for the diabetes. So by using this, I think diabetes is a precursor for the heart disease. So I think by treating diabetes, I think we are indirectly treating the heart disease risk. I'm really happy that Unicity has brought the product to India, and I think all of us have to work with our friends and families to make people use of this wonderful product to get our lives better and our risk better, and as a country we should benefit from this.
My name is Dr. Umesh Patel. I'm a preventative cardiologist. I have had the pleasure of using BioSlife Slim both personally and in my practice. I have been delighted with the results I've achieved in both spheres of my life. Personally, it has made me feel healthier, more alive. As far as my patients, I've never seen a product that can accomplish multiple goals, including lowering cholesterol, lowering blood sugar, helping reduce weight, helping blood pressures come down, and a product that actually tastes good and the patients are willing to take. So it is indeed a remarkable product, and I use it freely on both patients, family members, and the general public. I introduced BioSlife Slim to my practice, and what had happened after a few months, I started getting checks from the company. And my first thought was, this is a mistake. There's no company that ever sends me a check without my bill. So I called Unicity, and they said, no, doctor, this is actually an honorarium because you're using our products. And I said, oh, well, that's good. I love your products. I'd use them anyway. And I realized that if this was an income stream, it would help offset the massive cuts I'd just been handed out by the government and the insurance companies. And at that point, I was debating whether I should close down my practice or cut staff benefits, take away the health insurance, take away the hours. And I saw that this was a potential for saying no to either of those and continuing practicing medicine. And over the last year, I have been able to generate replacement income for all the cuts that I've endured. And the good part of this is that it has allowed me to practice in the style I was trained 35 years ago, which is patient first and the business comes second. And that has always been my way of practicing, and I love the fact that I'm not going to be bullied by anybody to hurry up and not talk to patients. I can spend 20 minutes with a routine patient, an hour with a new patient, and of course I get to know stuff about their health and their well-being, which allows me to keep them alive and well even longer. And ultimately that extra time I spent keeps them out of the hospital, and so it reduces healthcare costs. In my humble opinion, this product should be given out free on the street corner to every person in the United States. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Annie Varghese, and I'm an interventional cardiologist from the great state of Texas. And I have been using the BioSlife Slim product in my patients for about a year and a half. And I had no idea of the benefit that it would provide for the patients with regard to cardiovascular disease risk reduction in my patients in the United States. But it took on a greater role, actually, as we were able to take this product to India. India being a country of about 1.3 billion people. And as I told the CEO of Unicity, Stuart Hughes, I said, Stuart, there are people dying from cardiovascular disease in India, and why don't we initiate this product there? Because of the terrible problem with diabetes and heart disease, people dying at a rate 4 times the risk of any other population. Stuart thought that was a fabulous idea, and it has made huge changes in the lives of people already, and it is going to be a wonderful saving mechanism for the people of India. Now let me tell you about the BioSlife Slim franchise, because as physicians we're so used to just writing a prescription, taking care of the patients one by one, not really reimbursed for our efforts as we were trained to do, and it's becoming a problem for physicians. My friends are having to close their doors of their practices, and they're fabulous doctors, and I thought, how can we change the lives of physicians, these people who have struggled for 14 years, 15 years, given their life for training, another 15 years of practice, and now to find that they're not going to be reimbursed for their efforts in their jobs. So when I thought about it, I thought, wow, this Unicity franchise would be a fabulous addition to their practice as a source of revenue, to keep the doors open, to keep the lights on, to pay their staff, to save lives. Because what we do is save lives. And if we go away, then who's going to take care of the people? Who will take care of the diabetes and the cardiovascular disease? Who will open those coronaries in the middle of the night and put stents in? It's us. And if the world loses us, then there will be much more disease and much more death. So here's a product that's simple, fiber and vitamins. You give it to the patients. You give them physical health, and you give the physicians financial health. And that's what we need to give as a message to all physicians over the United States and all over the world, because this product is in 26 and now 27 countries, including India.
Hi, I'm Pedro Antonio Sarant. I'm an internal medicine physician in the community of Slidell, Louisiana, which is a community outside of New Orleans. The impact that BioSlife Slim has had on me, I have been able to lose weight, lose inches personally, and my patients started to see that on me, and they started to say, wow, what are you doing? And I had to share it with them. So my impact actually, the emphasis on my patients is that I want to make them healthier. I want to make them try to enjoy what they do every day in their life, but they be able to live longer and try to enjoy their family much better. And when people are overweight and having issues with diabetes, metabolic syndrome, cardiovascular disease, the quality of life is definitely impaired, and they cannot enjoy with their family the way they enjoy, not only in the eating and the family reunions and food, but also just being active with them. They cannot play with their children, and that's a shame to see someone that cannot enjoy his family. Normally, there's not a lot of medications that can do, and these are prescribed medications with approval from the FDA that cannot increase that HDL the way that Slim does. You know, these numbers are really something that you need to see them to believe them, and to see those on me, then you make me a living poster. I can talk to my patients with a lot of freedom and a lot of commitment that they're gonna be able to get a product that is actually good for them. Recently, we've been experiencing a decrease in reimbursement in medicine. I have questioned myself many times: do I need to reduce the staff in my office? Do I need to cut salaries? Do I need to reduce their bonuses or their incentives that I give them? BioSlice Slim has allowed me to not need to do that, and has allowed me to maintain the staff with the same benefits, give them some extra encouragement, because I do use part of the incentive program that I have in my office, as well as have a much better environment when we know that these employees are not going to have to get a second job and supplement their income, because I don't have to reduce their hours.
Some people say they can't attract people from all over the world, that people won't advance in that company. Viable businesses don't share profits. They won't grow, expand, and thrive. Some people say they won't truly make a difference in people's lives, in their communities, in their health. Some people say they can't consistently innovate and improve products. They aren't up to date on the latest science. They won't change the world. But some people don't know unicity.